Yeah, so you're clean.
Okay. No, not massive. Are we live?
We are live, sir.
We're live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Normally, I deliver this in front of the assembly. For all sorts of reasons, that's not happening this year. But we are recording it in front of a live studio audience.
Yay!
And they promise not to swear or be too distracting. So every time I deliver this, I get a slightly different response. It used to be called Revision Sucks. But then I had to change that because some people told me that they really enjoyed revision. Well, this isn't really for you then. This is for normal people who find revision a bit of a struggle. But at the same time, even if you do enjoy revision, there's a very, very important message here, and that's about balance. And we'll get to that ahead of in a few minutes. But there we go. So revision, you may or may not enjoy it, but it has to be effective. Otherwise, it's a complete utter waste of everybody's time. So the critical thing, I think, about revision is that it is a mental game, by which I mean it's not just an intellectual exercise. What I really mean is that your head has to be in the right place. If you're not approaching this in the right way, then you're going to be wasting your time completely. So, the first thing to accept is that this is brutally unfair. We're sending you away on holiday and we're telling you to revise. That is unfair. I'm sorry, that's just the way things are. And you know what? Life's kind of unfair. And we need to accept that. And if we do accept that, then hopefully everything will be better. Probably not, I suspect. And this is why people get massively stressed. And we need to accept that. Again, we need to accept that this is massively unfair. And if we come from it, and if we come from that direction, we can deal with it. If we expect everything to be fine, then we're going to struggle. So how do we deal with it? The way we deal with it is very, very simple. We make a plan. You have to have a plan. And for the remainder of this term, you have to think about how you're going to get that plan together. So what does a plan look like? Yes, sorry. Every time I do this, I think it's hilarious. Nobody else seems to. But anyway, there we go. Right, what does a plan look like? Well, here are a couple of plans. We've got plan A and we've got plan B. Now, normally when I do that, I tend to get a particular reaction. Like, oh my God, I'm going to start at 8:45. Well, some people will start earlier, some people will start later, but that's not the important thing. The important thing here is this. The important thing is that there is an end to this game. We keep coming back to this idea of balance, okay? In order to achieve balance, you have to have a plan. You need to have a bit where you're working, you need to have a bit where you're not working. And this down tools bit is massively important. And I'll explain exactly why. When we're looking at our plan, we're trying to work on three key ideas. We're looking at balance, routine, and rewards. Let's talk about balance first of all. This has been a shocking term. Nobody's fault. It's just been an absolute storm from beginning to end. But we've got to the end of it, so well done, everybody. But right now, we're all a bit beaten up. We're all a bit tired. We've all, frankly, had enough. And we just want to go home and chill, I imagine. However, there is a problem here, and the problem is you've got to do some work. We're coming back, we're coming into exams. Yes, we've split the exams into 2 blocks, but we've still got those exams coming up. And we also just need to do the work over the holidays in order to keep a bit of momentum. At the same time, there's got to be some R&R here. You've got to have some downtime. Now, Conrad, I don't know if you're going home this holiday. I don't know if anyone's going to have the palm trees and the hammocks, but you're still going to have an opportunity to relax and recharge those batteries. And that is massively important. Massively important. However, we have to do some work. So be reasonable with yourselves. Think about how you're going to balance work and reward. So yeah, we talked about this plan earlier. This one delivers 6 hours, and this one delivers 7 hours. That's just an idea. You will come up with a plan that works for you. The important thing is that it works for you. It has a beginning and it has an end. We now have to ask ourselves a question, well, how much do you want to do? This one is going to give you 6 hours a day. This one's going to give you 7 hours a day. Your plan will give you however many hours it's going to give you. But now, how much is enough? Well, now we have to think about how many days we're actually going to be working over the break. Okay? So, here we are. We're going to finish on the 11th. Don't expect anybody to do any work then. All right? Quite apart from anything, we're still here most of the day. But then you go home on Saturday. Don't do any work on Saturday. And obviously, I don't really expect you to work on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day, and I'll even give you Hogmanay off. It's the Scot in me. And of course, being Scottish, I'll also give you the 1st of January off because you're not going to do any work then either. Then, let's not be tyrants about this. Do you have to work at weekends? I didn't see any reason why you should. Because remember, you're doing 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day, and now we've got all of these days where you're actually going to be doing productive work. You've got 11 days there. And if you do 11 days of good hard yakka, well, how much is that going to give you overall? 54 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours? 77 hours worth of work. Now think about how many lessons you do in a week. Generally speaking, you'll be doing what?
12.
18 lessons a week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
18 lessons a week? That's 18 hours of work. 18 hours of taught work. Obviously you're doing your prep off the back of that. Subtract 18 times 10 minutes and you get down to something like 16 hours worth of taught time in a week. So in other words, if you're following one of these schedules, then in that holiday period you can actually do 3 or 4 weeks worth of lesson work. That's a huge amount of work. And at the same time, you're going to get time off. You know, if you do 10 days of work, you're still going to get 15 days, 14 days. There's lots of time off there. And I want to stress that it's all about balance. If you're not balanced, then you're not going to use this holiday effectively because we're all on our knees. We all need the break. And you need to know that at some point you stop working, and that is what this whole program is designed to deliver. I know that some people struggle to stop working, and this bit's for you. Sometimes you have to drop the pen, because otherwise you're not going to use this holiday effectively. So, set yourself a target. How many hours do you want to work? How many hours do you need to work? Is it going to be 60 hours? Is it going to be 50 hours? 40 hours? Set yourself a target. Then work backwards from there. See how you can work that into your day. Then work hard, all right? You have to work hard. But you also have to enjoy that guilt-free downtime. You need to know that at some point in the day, you stop working. Please, stop working. And critical to that is going to be the routine. You need to get into a routine. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, a routine tells you what you have to do. It also helps you avoid drip. What's drip? Well, drift, inertia, and procrastination. If you've got a plan, then you know what you're going to do. The routine will help you get into that, and you will just use the time effectively. You want to be going on the B of the bang. In your case, that's Monday. I think it's the 14th of December. You want to hit the ground running. So make sure you've got this plan together over the remaining time so you start on Monday and you get on it. Get your routine, stick to it, and also have a place. This is massively important. If you've got somewhere to work, then that place is going to be somewhere where you're comfortable working. It has all the things you need, and it doesn't have the things that are going to distract you. And so for all sorts of reasons, working in your bedroom is a really, really bad idea. Find somewhere else to work. I'm really hoping you've got somewhere else you can work. I usually say work in a library, but most libraries have been shut down by the government, and those that haven't have been shut down by COVID, so you're going to have to work imaginatively. Probably a bit cold to work in the shed, but find somewhere where you can work, because what you need is that sense of transition. If I'm here, I'm working. If I'm over here, then I'm not working. That idea of transition is important for all sorts of reasons. It's that demarcation. If I'm over here, I'm working. If I'm over there, I'm not working. And you can use this psychologically yourself and use it with your parents. Why are you sitting around, lounging around, watching television, reading a book? Well, because I'm not working. I've done my work. I've done my shift. And with a routine, that's really going to help you. Time and place and rewards. Give yourself rewards. This is a problem we all have. We all have a problem with present bias. We know what we should do for long-term gain, but frankly, we'd rather sit there and do nothing. Present bias, we all suffer from it. We accept that. If you accept that, then we can deal with it. I know that I should go and have some exercise, but I'm going to sit here and have a cream cake instead. I know what serves my long-term interest, but I suffer from present bias like everybody else. And And newsflash, the people who suffer from it worst are teenagers, and within teenagers, the people who suffer from it worst are teenage boys. So you need to build that into your equations so you can deal with it. So use rewards. Get your routine right, and you can have your evenings off, you can have your weekends off, and you give yourself a little rewards, good stretch, then you do give yourself a break. But the critical thing is that drop the pen moment. When you know you've done your shift, 5 o'clock, thank you very much, I am no longer working. You can turn around and tell your parents, look, I've worked this into my schedule. I'm going to do 60 hours over the Christmas holidays. And I can do that while not working at weekends and finishing work at 5 o'clock. You need the downtime. You seriously need the downtime. 60 hours, that's a benchmark. Maybe you're going to do more, maybe you're going to do less, but have a target. Because what we want to avoid is wasting time, all right? We like to think that this is generally how it works, that we all start there, and then we go to there, and we describe this lovely straight line. That's not how it works. What really happens is this. We have a holiday, and we all take a step backwards. We want to avoid that, and we can actually take advantage of this by doing some holiday work. Rather than being stuck on this trajectory, we can change our trajectory, and we can go like that. The question then becomes, just how big do you want that jump to be? You get to decide. Set that target, all right? Do you want it to be that big, or that big? You get to decide how big that jump's going to be and just work backwards from here. And you will decide whether you're going to do 60 hours, 50 hours, 70 hours, probably a bit much. Do 100 hours in the Easter holidays, but I'll tell you all about that with the Easter holidays. 100 hours, easy, done. And it changed the trajectory. Max Shannon told me he was going to do 100 hours before the Easter holidays, did 100 hours at the Easter holidays, and he's now doing international relations at Exeter. 11 days. How big do you want the jump to be? But don't forget, you have to have the downtime, you have to have the plan, you need to have the balance, you need to have the routine. Let's get this done, guys, because this is how it's going to be. Okay, make it a productive break, rest of the break. I'll see you when we get back. Thank you all very much.